Today I'm challenging myself to see if I can make this whole leather bag here using only this knife and a ruler. Stay tuned. Greetings adventurers and welcome to Skill Tree, where we learn how to do just about everything. So as I said in the forward there, I thought it would be a really cool challenge to try to make something using as little tools as humanly possible. So while we were kind of workshopping it, Maddie sent me a picture of one of these bags here, which honestly kind of fits the bill perfectly. It like folds up on itself, almost origami style, and then it is just like a strap that weaves through it that holds the whole thing together. I believe that whole thing could be made with just a knife. Well, and a ruler. I don't really count the ruler when I'm doing tools, but yeah, I guess a ruler would count, so. All this, by the way, just to kind of demonstrate that it doesn't take a lot of fancy tools to get into some of the skills we do here. You can get by with bare minimum and really make some cool stuff. So buckle in, like and subscribe if you have not already, and let's get this show started. Now, the material I'm gonna be using for this is this suede here that I bought from Tandy Leather. It's pretty, it has this nice fabric-like quality to it, and honestly, it just kind of fits the vibe that I'm going for here. All right, so I start by laying this thing out so I can cut out the general shape of it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is super arbitrary for me. Like when everything was squared off, I was left with a piece that was 40 by 19, but that's mostly just because that's where like the folds were. I didn't put a lot of thought into the sizing of it. Though, if you wanted to prefigure it out, basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna fold it into roughly thirds like so, leave me with what is essentially going to be the bag shape. So you can kind of work backwards from that and like make a template that is the size of a bag that you would want, measure that out, and that's what you cut your leather to be. In general, I was going for like large messenger bag shape, so take that for what you want. One thing you will have to keep in mind though is how wide you want the inside of the bag to be. So for example, I decided on about 3 inches wide inside, and that's important because that's what like the bottom here is gonna end up having to be, which is also gonna dictate what the side flaps that fold over each other is gonna be. So if that bottom is gonna be 3 inches wide, giving me 3 inches room inside, then each one of those flaps also has to be 3 inches because everything has to really evenly lap over each other. Trust me, it'll make more sense as we continue to go and you see how the bag goes together. So putting it back into that roughly folded in thirds configuration there, I go along what will be my bottom of the bag and mark it 1.5 inches up. I can mark 1.5 inches up because ultimately once you unfold that, that'll be 3 inches. All right, so now we have that 1.5 inch line of where that kind of the edge of the bottom of the bag is gonna end up. I go to either edge and I make a line 3 inches from the side. Remember, all of our flaps are going to be 3 inches, so that is the width that the side flaps are gonna end up being. From there, I measure 1/2 inch off of that line on either side right on the edge, and then connect those marks to the very end of that 3 inch line. This gives me this kind of wedge shape here. After doing that on both sides, I simply cut that away, going through both layers of leather. I realized as I was talking that it felt a lot like word salad, so here's an example of what just happened. We've got these little thing right here, and it's essentially just fold in half, right? So now we have both of them, and they're exactly the same. We're just, rather than doing it twice, we're doing it once through both layers, that's all. And what it essentially does is it frees up what's gonna be the side panel and gives it the ability to fold. Though in order to really do that, we also have to disconnect it from the top, which will end up being kind of the flap over the top here. To do that, I just go to what's gonna end up being the top of the bag, mark that out on the flap side, and just cut that piece away. Again, just doing that on both sides. This leaves us with this shape here, which is just our whole bag laid flat. Now basically the way this thing is gonna work is we can fold up the little tab we have here on the bottom and then fold the other 2 pieces together, making the bottom and sides of our bag here. But in order for these to be able to stay together, we need to make little slits all up the top that match each other so we can weave something in and out to hold it all together. So in order to do that, all I do is I measure 1/2 inch in on either side of those little tabs, which will leave me with a little 2 inch space marked out. I just make marks on the other side of the tab there so that I can connect my ruler together and make nice straight lines. Then, starting 1/4 inch away from the top on either side, I simply make a mark at 1 inch increments. I do this on both sides just again so I can connect my ruler together there and make nice straight lines. Because of the size of my bag, I got 12 lines. It depends on the size of your bag, how many you get, but yeah, that's how many I got. Once you have those marked out, it's really easy to just go back in with your razor knife and cut along all those lines. Just kind of making a shark gill pattern, if you will. Note I also cut 2 lines of the same size right in the middle of the bottom of the bag, thinking that that strap will go kind of through the sides, through that bottom, holding it nice and steady there, and then back out the other side. One more thing, I don't know why I didn't film it, but that bottom flap tab here, there's 2 lines cut in there as well. All I did was fold it up so that it matched up with the side the way it would go, and then just kind of drew through the slices that I had made. This way we know those lines match up perfectly with the lines on the tab here. You can see them cut in the sides on this scene here real close up. So from here, the only thing we actually need to put this whole thing together is like the strap that's gonna go through all those little cuts. I could just cut a 2-inch strip of anything, and then just kind of weave it through and literally done with the bag. It's really, really easy. But I have like a problem, and I decided it was too easy, so I wanted to add a little extra something to it. So instead of cutting a 2-inch strip, I cut a 10-inch wide strip. It is 10 inches wide and 43 inches long. I got that 43 inches long because each one of the sides is 12¼ inches long, and the bottom ended up being 13 inches long. All that together ends up being 37½ inches, so if I cut it to 43, I have enough. I just want to make sure I had enough, that's all. Why did I cut it 10 inches wide instead of the 2 inches wide? Because I decided I want to add tassels. I thought that would look cool. A little tassels, it has like a fun look to it. And something totally doable with just a knife. To make that happen, all I did was measure 4 inches in from either side and make marks there. So I can use a long straight edge just to give myself that exactly 2-inch wide gap in the middle, which will act as our actual strap going in and out. And then everything outside of that in that 4-inch area is what will become my tassels. And there's no crazy technique to this. I just kind of moved my ruler roughly 1/4 inch over, made a slit, moved myself roughly another 1/4 inch over, made another slit. Repeat so many times, just hundreds of times. More than once it crossed my mind that I would be done already while I was doing all these. I'm like, wow, this project could have been over, but tassels. I regret nothing though. Look at how cool these little tassels look. That's awesome. Maybe tassels are the wrong word, is it just fringe? Is it called fringe? At any rate, I think it looks cool. What's the point of making a bag if you don't make the bag look cool? FYI, I've made a lot of bags on this show. I made you a playlist here in case you want to mill through them. And I do tend to use all of them, so I very much want this one to be something that is like useful or fun to carry around. That being said, no matter what bag I'm using, you're always going to find today's sponsor, Fume, inside of it. Fume is a flavored air device which does exactly what it says on the tin. It flavors the air. It does that by using these little flavor cords which come in a huge variety of flavors. Right now, and it might just be a winter thing, I'm really vibing with the crisp mint, but the white cranberry is kind of my jam as well, so. That's especially great if you're trying to quit something like nicotine or vaping because it replaces that hand-to-mouth kind of habit. For me though, I just kind of use it as like a fidget toy, like it's made specifically to have like a nice clicky textile feel, good weight to it, which is great because sometimes my ADHD takes over and just having something I can kind of click around really kind of makes me hone in and focus for a bit. Anyways, it's great. No smoke, no vape, no need for batteries ever. And because it doesn't have any smoke or vape, you can use it anywhere, in a restaurant, on a plane, whatever. Now, if you're ready to break a habit or just kind of want something to fidget with, right now is the perfect time to give Fume a try. That's because if you visit their website, link below, and get yourself a journey pack, you'll also get one of these free chewy rubber toppers here just by using my code SKILLTREE at checkout. These toppers are awesome. They just make it much more comfortable in the mouth. They make it so you can chew on it, which is another thing that I really like to do. Just head to tryfume.com, that's tryfum.com, and use my code SKILLTREE to get a free topper with your journey pack today. All right, so we're ready to go ahead and like thread this thing through the bag to hold it all together. But I realized another issue. I want to have a way, obviously, to connect a strap, but I don't want to use anything but my knife. I had to figure out how to make this ring here connect onto the straps on either side too. So since I have the roughly 3 inches on either side extra, I figured I can kind of line up with how wide I would need it to fit inside of this ring and just kind of cut away all of the extra tassels here. Then after seeing where it has to fold over to kind of seat this ring, I just made a little slit, making sure there's enough meat on either side so that it's not gonna like tear out. This way, I can kind of put my ring in place and then starting all the way at the other end, fish the entire strap through that little slit, which was a pain in the ass. It was hard to do because all the little frill there kept getting in the way. But the frill also made it easier to do because I could pull them through separately so it didn't bind up. But still, it's just a long way around to use only a knife. Once that was all the way through though, it was secure. Now I just had to do it on the other side too. Though now I have not only the strap, but a ring that I have to fit through. So this one I cut into this little T shape here, just to give me a little bit more room to pull everything through. And with that, I did it. I put it together without needing any other tools. It's one way to do it, I guess. If you're not being as strict, by all means, do whatever. I just really wanted to, I was into the challenge at this point. How's that? Okay, with that good to go, it's time to actually start threading this thing together. I started with that bottom slit there, just kind of feeding the ring through, pulling it to about the halfway point, and then feeding it down through the other side. With that good, I just picked a side to start from and fed the strap through both side holes and the first bottom hole. Pulled that through and just fed it back through the next set of slits in the row. And I just kind of did this, weaving in and out of all of these little slits, up one side and then up the other side. And though the fringe made it really hard at some points, it actually had kind of a cool thing where only X amount of that fringe would fit into the gaps allotted it, right? So all I had to do was kind of take them and pull them, and I'd be able to really easily see which one of those very much want to be on the other side of the bag, like on the inside of the bag versus the outside of the bag. So it was actually very easy to space this thing out correctly, just kind of pulling at that fringe there, both on the outside and on the inside. And once it was done, you can see I have this really nice in and out pattern going on the sides. And look at that. That's a bag. Like, no sewing, no special tools. It's a cute little bag. I think that's neat. To clean it up a little bit, I just lined up this random circular thing I had just to cut those corners on the flap, making everything look nice and rounded off. Finally, I decided to make a shoulder strap by just cutting a 2-inch wide piece of leather, and then using that exact same trick that I used before on the rings, just to secure this little clip to one side. Then on the other side, again, I use the same trick just to attach it to the ring. This way, once I clip it onto where it has to go, bam, strap. And again, only a knife used. Very proud of that. But yeah, look at this, the whole ass bag. It looks cool as is, but once you cram it full of stuff and kind of see it as like a full bag, I think it even looks better. Like, look at this thing, look at how cool that is. And again, just this guy right here. I think that's really, really neat. And the ruler. Obviously, I mean, I couldn't have done it without the ruler. So like, MVP.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
As much as it was a pain, I really like the little tassels, though if I was gonna go for this look again, I think the easier way to do it is to actually leave like the sides long or whatever, and just have that extra material, cut those to be the tassels. But then I wouldn't have this nice bottom frill here, so I don't know. I like it. I like how it came out. It was worth the trouble. Now, I do still have all the little frills on the inside. I could go through and cut them if I want, but I kind of like them. I don't know. Maybe they'll get in the way and I'll feel like they're dumb later on if I try to pull stuff out and they get stuck. But for now, I think it's kind of neat. I don't know. It's just a me thing. But yeah, from here you can add whatever you want. You can add cool like a beadwork on here, or maybe like a painting of some sort. Or you can go through again with your knife, make a bunch of little spaced out slits around the edges and just kind of weave some threading through it or some rope through it or make a nice little border or whatever. Even with me not having any pre-measurements and just very much figuring this out as I go and then fighting with tassels the whole time, making this bag, the entirety of the bag, took me maybe 3 hours. Now you know how to do it and you go in with a plan, I'd be way quicker than that. And also, if you're not just holding yourself to a single tool, I think you can, possibilities are endless at that point. Let me know what you thought of this little guy down in the comment section below. How would you do it differently? Is there any other cool things we could use a single tool on? That's a fun challenge. Matter of fact, yes, I challenge you. I challenge you to pick something, any kind of skill, and try doing it with as limited a tool pool as possible. If you can get down to 1, that'd be great. I won't count the ruler. You can have a ruler. Well, we can count it. 2 tools. All right, that's fine. Anyways, again, I hope you liked this episode. If you did, hit me with some of that like it love, and don't forget to subscribe so you know when I release new content. Oh, and thanks again to Fume for sponsoring this episode. In the meantime, though, keep leveling up, you. You made it to the end screen. YouTube loves it when you do that, and it's a fantastic way to support this channel. Another fantastic way to support this channel is by joining these people's noble ranks. These are our Patreon members, and we can't do any of this without them. Special shout out to our new high-tier Patreon members, Talia Pointing and Dig Dug Dog. And a special shout out to our Grand Master tier Patreon members, Froggy. We absolutely rely on our Patreon members to be able to grow and make all the things we want to make, so we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much. If you like what we do here and want to support us, consider joining our Patreon, link in the description below. Otherwise, you can check out one of these videos here that YouTube thinks you'd like, and that helps out a lot too. All right, I'm gonna go make a pouch version of this. It's just so easy. You can do it while you're watching TV. It's kind of cool. I shall be the bag man. So many bags.